Hi everyone, my name is Ashley, and this is kind of a long time coming. I'm going to start going ahead and moving forward with a pregnancy vlog, and I've actually made several videos starting at about 8 weeks pregnant, but kept feeling like I really wanted to wait and make sure that everything was going okay. And this past week we got to hear the heartbeat, and this weekend we have our first ultrasound. So feeling pretty good about, going ahead and making it public that we are expecting our second baby. So I'm going to start doing this weekly so that everybody can do this with me and I can share my journey, not only with my almost 3-year-old daughter, but with our soon to be new baby. So a little bit about the conception and all of that. My husband and I actually we we started saying like, okay, maybe next year we'll have another baby. And that month, I had been talking with a fertility clinic about donating eggs, and I was denied because I had a sister who died of a chromosomal disorder. And so we started talking about maybe being a surrogate, because I really, really loved being pregnant with my first daughter. I had a really easy pregnancy. I felt good the whole time. But when it came down to it, we had to make the decision, if we wanted to be surrogates, then we were absolutely not going to be able to have another baby, because they didn't want us to fall in love with this baby and not want to give it up. So that was kind of where the decision came, that we were going to wait until next year to make the decision, give us 6 more months or so to really think through it, decide if we wanted another baby, and we found out 2 weeks later we were pregnant. So funny way that the universe works. I also, at that time, had started my certification process to become a doula through Dona International. And so everything was really geared towards baby. And it really is true that what you think about comes true, because here I am, pregnant. We are due March 9th of 2014. And as soon as we found out we were pregnant, it was quite a shock, because we weren't planning it or expecting it. We tried for 6 months to conceive with our daughter. And this one, we didn't even try. So definitely a different experience. Took a couple weeks for me to be okay with it. A lot of things had to change. We had planned a big Hawaiian vacation, and that was going to be kind of our last decision before we wanted to have another baby, to see if going to Hawaii, really made it feel like, yeah, we should have another baby, or no, this, having one kid and being able to travel is really the way we want to do this. So we need to cancel our Hawaiian cruise. We were going to go on a Disney cruise with our daughter in the spring, but then had to move it to October to make sure that I can go, because I would have been 9 months pregnant if we had done it then. So a lot of things changed. I'm an actress. A big show is coming up that I am still going to audition for, and hopefully they'll cast me even though I'll be 6 months pregnant. So just took a while to get used to it. But now that I've settled into it and realize, the baby's heartbeat and how exciting that was, I think the other thing that really is making me feel really good about this is, number one, our daughter is so excited. At first, she did not want a sibling, but now she talks about having a baby brother or sister every day. And of course, in her creative mind, baby's name is going to be Doo-Doo, but obviously we are not giving her the naming privilege there. And the other thing was that we decided to have a home birth. And being a doula, I'm also a pregnancy coach, working with pregnant women throughout their pregnancy, do pregnancy and birth photography. I knew that having a home birth is what I wanted. My first pregnancy was lovely. I had all of the training. I knew exactly what to do, and my body just didn't cooperate. I went through it naturally for 27 hours before the hospital told me that intervention had to take place. So at 27 hours, they gave me an epidural, and it didn't work. So I continued to work through it, except they kept telling me I wasn't allowed to get out of bed, even though I was standing up and using the bedpan and doing all of that. And it became really traumatic, because they were limiting what I could do, because I technically had an epidural, but it didn't work. And so when it came time to push her out at 34 hours, I finally was just like, listen, I need to stand up, and I can't do this on my back. I don't want to do it this way. I know how gravity works. I know why people tear. I want to do this squatting. And so they let me go ahead and squat, and that's how she was born. And it took me a long time to get over it, over kind of the forced intervention and the trauma that I felt took place emotionally because I couldn't do things the way that I wanted to and kept being told that I wasn't allowed to or I couldn't. So going for the home birth is just, it's bringing so much peace to my heart. And knowing I'm working with my doula, I'm working with a midwife who is absolutely incredible and very calming and grounding. And one of the other midwives that I met and interviewed, who I loved, will most likely be the birth assistant. So I am just pumped and so excited. So this is kind of the beginning of my video vlog, but you know, there's a lot more to come. I will say this, and I, at this point, will swear by it. I started getting sick at week 6, and I wasn't actually throwing up because I kept telling myself I didn't have to, even though I would have felt so much better if I let myself. But I was completely incapable of human function and fell asleep with trash can rings on my face. I could not move. I could not eat. I couldn't do anything. I felt absolutely awful. And finally called the midwife, and she said that a combination of B6 and Unisom would help. And I feel human again. If I feel nauseous at all, it's before bedtime, and as soon as I take the B6 and Unisom, I'm sleeping through the night and I'm feeling better, and I could not function without it. So if you're having morning sickness, call your OB, call your midwife, find out if that's something that will work for you, because I will swear by it. I decided last week not to take it one day to see if I was feeling better, and ended up sick as a dog. So it is literally saving my life, so I can go back to work, I can go to rehearsals, I can actually be a mother and a wife, and I could not do that before. So thank goodness for that. So I am going to go ahead and show you my belly. This is my second pregnancy. And I will say, you know, if I'm just standing here, you can't really tell that I'm pregnant, but definitely when I do this, you can see that I've got a nice little bump there. And definitely starting to get a bit harder, especially in this area as the uterus is starting to come up and out of the pelvis. So as soon as we get our ultrasound pictures and everything and have some fun things to share with our pictures, I'll go ahead and post them. So, you know, comment, like, subscribe, whatever you want, but be a part of this journey, and I can't wait to hear from you. Thanks.